guys, so 21.2 has been released this morning. This is a really good for a longer workout to get stuck into. It's actually a repeat of their workout in 2017. So no matter which category you choose to do today, the rep scheme remains the same, as does the time cap of 20 minutes. So we're going to run through some hints and tips and some standards. I think we'll see the majority of our members probably hitting the foundations for this, partly due to the equipment, but also just to do with the movements that you're able to do in that category. So I'll head over to Gary.
Yeah, guys. So I remember doing this back in 2017, and the thing for me was that when we got doing this workout was not to go out too fast with this. So see, it's like you put your low skill movement, but more of a head down, get on with it, and just kind of just grind through the whole workout as you see fit. Then with the movement standards we're after with the dumbbell or the object, if you're using the foundations option, that starts on the floor. So the two heads are got on the floor, and then you look for that one fluid movement all the way at the top, and then cut the full extension at the top, and then back down again each time for that reps to count. What we don't want to get to see is, when we start getting tired, is that first movement getting broke up. So what we don't want to see is like a clean and then a press. That will be a no rep. It's going to be one fluid movement on that. On the way back down again, you've got that transition, how you choose you want to use that. You can either alternate with your hands, so coming up, grabbing the dumbbell on the way down, and just making sure that two heads touch the floor every single time. Alternatively, you can bring it back to the floor and then take it up from the top. It's kind of how you see your ability on this on the way forward. Me personally, I'll just tip from the floor every time, gives me a bit of a breather. I just prefer that way, or even rest at the shoulder if need be on that. Right, cool, yes guys. So another thing for this is what we're watching out for in the videos is you can't have the opposite hand touch any part of the body. So Gina's now got an arm on the side of the leg, that will be a no rep. So a little tip for you when you're doing this, keep your arm out to the side. If that comes in contact at all with the body, it's going to be dangerous and no rep. So that's a big thing with this movement, especially when you start getting tired on that. With the bodyweight version, you've got an option of a PVC, a broomstick, anything a household you can get your hands on, and this will be a squat snatch or a hand squat snatch. The PVC or the broomstick will stay in Gina's hip, so it'll come down the top of the knee, anywhere around that area, and then it's going to go one fluid movement coming down, and then back again. If you really struggle with that movement, I would suggest, like Gina said before, the foundations will be the way forward this workout. Now moving on to the second movement we've got, which will be the burpee box jump. Okay, so when we're setting ourselves up, first, obviously you should know your heights of your boxes, 24 and 20 inches, girls and guys on that. And you've got to make sure that there's a white line underneath that box. And the reason why the white line's there for is to make sure the athlete is in line or facing the box every time they perform that rep. Now Gina from the floor then can do a burpee, she can jump up, she'll then take a step forward. It's got to be a 2-foot takeoff. She'll swap over, step down, do the same again, off the floor, make sure the 2-foot takeoff every single time and land on the 2 feet on the box. Now as a scaling option, you can actually step down on this one, and then step up, and then jump.
With that guys, make sure that you're not getting dizzy by going round and round. So if you saw me, we're going to come down, jump up one way, come down, and then we're going to go back the same way. That's just going to stop you going crazy in this workout.
Control your heart rate with them. They're the ones, these set of things that you've got to really try and just not to go too fast, especially in the earlier round. As the workout goes on, without a doubt, if you've got it more on the tank, that's when you're going to start straight on. If you go too fast on these, it's going to really catch you up with your snatches on that. Now with the bodyweight version, with the hand snatches, we're going to do a burpee with a forward jump. Okay, so Gina will come down, she'll come up to a burpee, and then from here, there'll be a white line where our feet is, she'll jump, and then that line between the jump station here is 3 foot every time. So just make sure you've got them marks marked out. As I said before, and what Gina kind of said was, the foundations I think personally would be the way forward on this workout, because you would have burpees with the object snatches on that, the same reps.
So just a case of going through what that is with the burpee, we're working with the chest and thighs in contact with the floor, And as we stand up, hips open, and we'll jump with the hands with the head, so we're looking for that hip opening. So with the workout, guys, obviously we're just going to chip through it as Gary mentioned before, but what we want to make sure is that we write down what our tie break time is. So our tie break time is the time that you finish each set of your burpees or your jumps. Okay, so just make sure that you jot those down. In terms of movements, is there anything else you want to add, Gary?
No, so I think if you're not too sure about anything, drop us a message or go to thecrossfit.com. All the movement standards are on there.
Yeah.
But please try and familiarise yourself with the workout before you do attempt the Zoom classes.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for us.
So there's a few different ways of how you can get involved, guys. As Gary says, you can do any of our Zoom classes. You can do those at home and do them remotely, where you judge each other remotely. Or alternatively, you can meet another person outside, still log on to the Zoom session, but you can be judging face to face rather than via screen. If you can't get onto the Zoom times or it's just not your bag, you can get judged by anybody